We are back again with the wrong screen. Sorry, folks. 1 more hour to go. Let's get hard.
So,
what we have highlighted.
Yeah, no, I mean, I understand. I know the context.
Yeah.
So after dinner, I think that you probably like leave the like dinner hall area and go out into the main like area where all the cubicles used to be. And so there's glass and like reinforcement on the front side, like where the water is, but the sides you can still see out into like the darkness. And out here, this is where people have like just a general like space they can like hang out. It's not anyone's like room or anything, but everybody is like kind of out in this area. I think Jericho, unless you attempt to get away from him, Jericho is like attached to you the whole night, Navarre. But I want to see, I think that Spoiler comes to talk to you, Gritch, like after dinner.
Right, and Spoiler is one of the 2 disciples?
Yeah, one of Nothing's friends.
Yeah, and like if she's hanging out with Nothing initially, like I would come up to her because I want to talk to Nothing. But anyways, yes, I'll talk to Spoiler.
You might get interrupted by her before she just comes to talk to you without any warning at all.
Damn.
But you maybe go to talk to Nothing and she's like
heads me off. Yeah.
Yeah. She introduces herself. So she comes up and she says, she's like, "Hi, I'm Spoiler." Like, gives you her hand, shake. Great. She's like, "I won't remember your name or your face later. If we meet again, please remind me that we've spoken before. Have we?"
Does it matter? And I give her a smile.
She kind of like looks down. "I suppose not. Just we don't remember things very well, and that can be disconcerting for some people. So if I've met you before and purged the memory, I'm sorry if that makes you feel upset."
Of course not. Quite all right.
So she nods to you and she says, "I noticed that you were looking at Nothing quite a lot during dinner." Do you look at him? You look at him now.
Yeah, and I glance over at him.
Yeah. So he's with Twice, trying to like distract Twice with something.
Yeah.
And she nods and she says, "He's a very interesting man, Nothing.
Clearly.
I'm lucky to be traveling with him."
I give her another look like, you don't know that for sure. You can't remember. But I don't say anything. Yeah, I just kind of shoot her a little like quirked eyebrow, like, "And what is it you do for Nothing?"
She looks at you like that's kind of a confusing question. And she's like, "Whatever I'm asked." What do you do?
Oh, I'm a doctor.
That's very interesting. What kind of doctor?
And I glance over at Biz. Like him.
Who's he?
His name is Biz. He's a doctor. And I'm just like talking to her like she is the dumbest piece of wood I could have a conversation with.
Yeah, so she's like, "I think I remember. I've forgotten. We've been here a few days," as if that explained it.
And like I have this moment where I'm like, I kind of know some people who are like the reverse of this, but I can't quite like.
Right, you're just like,
this is a familiar interaction in some way.
The conversation is hovering in a weird place.
Say like, "Well, you're not the only ones who have trouble with memory." Or
she's like, "Oh, it's no trouble at all. I feel freer now, clear in a way." And then she like puts her hand on your shoulder all like patronizingly, and you get the impression that this is not a gesture that she necessarily would just do on her own. Like this is something that Nothing does to her all the time, and like kind of has taught her like if you do this to people, sometimes it helps them like feel like you're interacting with them. So she like puts her hand on your shoulder and looks at you, and she's like, "Do you have memories that trouble you?"
"Oh, I have no trouble with memories." And I like put my hand on her hand.
Yeah.
Just, like hold it there for this like awkwardly long moment.
Okay. She like tries to take her hand away.
And I'm just like holding her in place and like looking into her eyes.
Okay, so she like kind of like looks at nothing, like she's trying to decide whether to like call for help.
And then I just lean in and like very quietly say, "Do you?" And I'm scanning her brain.
Okay, so you think this qualifies as time? And actually, you know what? You gotta act under fire first. The fire is nothing noticing you fucking with his friends. Even slaves. Okay,
Problem.
Cool as a cucumber, my friend. So yes, nothing does not notice.
Yeah, and I managed to like keep it subtle enough, and like maybe I'm being kind of like just confusing enough to keep spoiler from really like knowing whether or not she should be uncomfortable.
Yeah. And also she's like, you get the impression she's been taught to be like friendly and disarming, and you're like holding her hand in place and she's just like,
but etiquette demands that I not. Yeah.
Okay.
And so we like keep talking about other things while I'm like holding her hand on her shoulder or on my shoulder.
Sure.
Anyways. Boom, get scanned.
Wow. You're killing it today.
Get scanned, kid.
Can't miss.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what are her secret pains? Does she have any memories that trouble her?
So you remember past tense as it's happening, finding spoiler in your like the hallway of your rusted hulk, and spoiler's door has been like sand-blasted recently. Like it looks like just like bare metal that has been like scrubbed. Yeah. So all the rust is peeled off, but there's no paint or anything. You find that like the door, and you open it and step in, and it's just like a white room. There's the faint smell of like salt water, like ocean smell, but like nothing else. The room is just like void. And so your question was, what are her secret
pains? Yeah.
She has none. She has no secret pains. The only thing that's paining her right now is you're making her feel uncomfortable. So I guess maybe that's what you see. You walk in the room and you just see yourself with your hand on her shoulder.
Yeah. And like that's all there is now.
Yeah. There's just this moment.
Yeah, and what was her lowest moment?
You're living it, man. You're in it right now.
Yeah, this is it.
This is her lowest moment and her secret pain and fear. And it's all your fault, and it's happening right now.
Wow. Okay, well, in what ways is she vulnerable? Is her mind and soul vulnerable?
Like everything.
Beyond the obvious, her being a goldfish. Like
yeah, I mean, her mind and soul are completely vulnerable to everything and everyone. Like she's a blank slate. Yeah, like if you could get her away from nothing, you could pretty much just reprogram her however you want. Great. Like, no, you're my loyal servant.
Yeah, don't you remember?
Yeah, don't you remember that? Yeah, fool. Yes, she's a yep. She's been on a spiritual salt enema, and there's nothing left.
Once I realize how boring this plaything is, I like take her hand off my shoulder and like press it in my hands and say, "Well, it was lovely talking with you. You said you were going to go talk to this other person," and I just like gesture over to the first person that is on my right side. I'm just like, "You said you were going to go talk to this person just now."
Sure, yeah. You see like Iona there drinking with her
and
mother.
Just like
so she looks at Iona and then looks at you and she's like, "Thank you, stranger. Have a good day," and like pats you on the chest.
Yeah, and I'm just like shaking my head as she leaves, and I walk over to nothing. And
okay.
Someone else can have a seat.
Okay. All right, so while that's happening, what are you doing, Frankie?
Yeah. I have two options. I guess simply going off to do something isn't quite what I want to do right now. So I'm going to talk to nothing.
Okay.
I I've heard, yeah, I heard, like, I think it was the first session, the rumors and stuff about people wanting to forget things and going to nothing and that kind of stuff. I have some idea about him being involved in
Sure.
it. Right? So yeah, I think she just leads right in. I still have one hold.
Yeah.
He's like, like if they're able to talk just one-on-one in this situation.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think you might have to ask nothing like, hey, can I talk to you?
I mean, if only Twice is there, it's functionally one-on-one anyways, right?
That's true. Yeah. I don't think I would like pull him aside.
Sure.
Yeah, if I can't be just like super frank with him,
Yeah, I mean, I think you can, like Gritch said, you can talk to him, and the only person that will overhear is Twice.
okay.
Yeah, that's the thing you could totally do if you're okay with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I think she leads with that. She comes over. She like hands him another drink, so another glass of gin or mug of gin.
Yeah.
To like insert herself where he is, and she says, "So how do you do it?"
He looks at you. How do I do what?
How do you make them forget?
Well, that's an interesting question. Do you have something you'd like forgotten?
Everybody does, right? That's why they come to you.
You know, it's true. Whole world burdened with remembering things best left in the past.
My partner, I kind of head nod at Gritch.
Yeah, I think you both look at Gritch having this awkward conversation.
Yeah, they're having some weird. Like, I think I probably recognize what's happening.
Yeah.
And I just indicate Gritch and say, my partner has a different view.
I've heard that myself. Some people, and he like looks at Gritch while he's talking to you, he's like looking at Gritch. He's like, some people think gangrenous limb better left to rot on the body if it means maybe you can grasp your gun one more time, but I prefer to amputate. Healthier that way.
It's like creepy Matthew McConaughey. That's all I hear. All right.
So that's what he likes about high school girls.
Yeah.
He's the image, and they keep forgetting he exists.
I nod it twice and I say, last time I saw him, he was all kinds of lost. He doesn't seem better off now, though.
We found him adrift, one of the zones, hurt, tortured, had devils in his head. Sometimes I think better to have nothing than that. And he kind of smiles like, yeah, I know that's my name. Mm-hmm. And he says, we'll care for him. Grow something new out of the soil gone bad. And like looks down. Just going to be a hard couple months.
So what do you want with Mercer's place?
Some things best burned down, given back to the sea. That's all.
Why? What's wrong with Mercer?
He kind of grins at you. He's like, well, things been going wrong for Mercer some time now. Several days back, something taken from her. Something real valuable, like. Maybe you know something about that, Captain.
Maybe I do. I know all about it.
He says, you don't have to. You don't want to carry that burden no more. I can help you forget.
All right, I'm gonna spin my last hold, I think.
Okay.
So hard to choose. What does nothing wish I would do?
Give Tao to him. He wants Tao. He wants to like get on the. He's like trying to get you to be like, yeah, let me tell you everything, and then he expects your answer to be like, Tao's on the boat, and then he'll be like, let's go get her, because he wants Tao back. So he wants you to like admit that you have her, because he knows, and he knows you know he knows, and now he knows that you know that he knows you know. So just wants it all to. Yep.
I wish I'd saved one of those other questions, but I'll lean in. I'll say, I'll take you to her right now. Let's go.
Okay. So he takes like a deep breath in. He's just like, all right, and he like kind of like gives you a nod,
All right.
and he looks at and he looks at Twice, and then he looks at Forrest, and he's like, Forrest, boy, keep an eye on Twice. And Forrest like nods and comes over, and he says to Jericho, it's like, Jericho, this one and I are just going for a quick walk in the rain. And Jericho like looks over, and you, Navari, you hear that and look over, and Frankie and Nothing are gonna leave.
I think I probably try and see if I can. I mean, are they like literally walking out, or like do I have a moment to be like, do you want me to come with you?
Yeah, I think she would give you a look. Frankie would kind of like just sort of like smile and be like yeah, it's fine.
I mean, I trust Frankie, so I probably. We're all being so weird that it's like maybe she's playing a game. I don't know what she's doing.
That's true. This whole time we've been like, everyone's lying about everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she doesn't indicate to you that she needs protection.
I think. Yeah, I probably want to try and like keep an eye on the direction and see if I can see like can I see out to where they're going from in here, or is it just too far away?
No, it'd be too far away because the front of the building has like metal shutters on it.
Yeah.
Protect everybody inside from
if
the.
If she gives me the
nod,
then I let her go.
It's A-okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, so about this time, Gritch. You finish talking to spoiler distraction, and she like goes off to talk to Iona, and they look like Nothing looks like they're about to leave.
I follow.
Okay. Do you follow sneakily, or are you just like, I'm coming too?
I'm just very obviously following.
Okay.
I don't particularly see the need to hide it. I'm not very sneaky.
No. Do you want to be alone with Nothing, Frankie, or are you like?
Kinda. Yeah. I'm trying to think of how much I want that. I think it's fairly low priority. Like it's on her mind. So when you walk over Gritch, she like turns away from Nothing and steps up so she can talk to you kind of close, and she's like, keep an eye on Jericho. And then
I'm just like, no, you're fucking this up, and I follow you.
Wait, what do you say?
I say, no, you're fucking this up, and I like give you like eyes go wide, and I give you this look of like.
Yeah, that makes her, because she's trying to like just give you an order and leave, and you like throw it back in her face.
Yeah.
So she takes
charge here, Frankie.
Yeah, she steps back and like looks at you hard, like, and then kind of shakes her head like, okay, and just it walks and keeps going, like she doesn't have it in her to like order you around for real.
So
we maybe go to the boat, I guess.
Maybe
so, yeah.
His throat here. And in fact, I like grab your arm. He's like, Frankie.
Okay, yeah. I mean, like if you like
Yeah.
impede me, so I turn back around. Yeah, I'll.
Well, I want to know how tense you're feeling about this, Gritch. Like, is this enough to trigger the like scanners do what I want thing, or are you gonna like?
I'm gonna try the carrot first.
Is it gonna try to manipulate? All right.
I mean, I'm basically turning, like, if you want to go with this, we can all go together. But if you're like stopping me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be like stopped. If you have something to say to me, that's fine. But if you're like grabbing me and being like, no, don't do this, like, or something along those lines, I don't think I'll put up with that. I'll just like try to brush you off and be like, okay, come on, and
Yeah, like, well, Gritch wasn't here for the whole initial conversation, right? So I'm just like,
Yeah, where are you going with this weirdo?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're hitting me with brain mojo at this point,
Not yet.
okay.
No, I just like grabbed your arm and been like, what are you doing? What makes you think it's safe to do that?
So you're having this conversation in earshot of nothing?
Yeah, this is a little like this moment is a little dicey because I'm like trying to leave with him, and now there's this like weird interaction.
I mean, I feel like the way it's gone was like the two of you were together, and then Gritch grabbed you. Nothing got a few paces away and has turned around and sees you talking.
Right. Yeah. I can't have like any kind of actual conversation with you right here. I can't be like, hey, I'm gonna show you how
seem to be like
Right.
giving a
I
shit
can't.
about spilling the beans or whatever. I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing?
And I think nothing will like intervene. Like nothing comes back, and it's like,
I'm like, you don't need to worry about it, Gritch. Just leave me alone.
So yeah, nothing looks at you, Gritch, and is like, is something the matter?
No, nothing's the matter. Let's just go.
I was speaking to Gritch. You're behaving rudely.
Just forget about him. It doesn't matter. Forget about him.
Yeah, you say, yeah, you're like, forget about him. It doesn't matter. He's like, I couldn't imagine to. And he like looks at you, Gritch, and he's like, if you have something to say, please.
I just like tilt my chin a little and I'm just like, well, Frankie and I like pull Frankie's arm close to me, like hug her arm over. I'm just like, Frankie and I are kind of, and I give you a little squeeze. I just want to come along. And then I smile. I just get alone.
I'm looking at you like you're, some sort of animal that's bitten my arm and let go. And I don't know what to do. Like, am I supposed to just deck you and throw you down on the ground? Like,
what do you want from me?
You're just man.
Okay,
and I turn to Frankie and I'm just like, dear, can I please come with you?
I mean, it sounds like you're trying to manipulate Frankie here in a very weird, awkward, non-brainery way.
Yeah. Like you're just all up in my business, and this is all weird.
It's like very strange.
It's super strange, and yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'm open to manipulation here.
So I get a 12.
Jesus.
So,
All right. Both.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you want?
I want to come along.
Okay.
Yeah, I want you to bring me along with you as if we're like
and play in the game with him.
As if we're a thing. Yeah, you want me to go along with
my excuse that I've jumped onto, but just like play along and let me come with you.
Both of them, but play along and
initially, for God's sakes.
Don't make me look like a fool.
Okay. I think that the reason I don't resist here is I don't know how to treat you right now. Like, especially in this situation, like other people in the room are starting to look over at this point, possibly.
Yeah, probably. It's a weird
moment.
Yeah.
And I don't want to make it even weirder and even like turning it. Who knows what this will turn into? So I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah, I think Rich is kind of cornering you, right? And just being like,
totally.
If you cause a scene by not letting me come with you,
yeah,
it's gonna go real bad.
I was trying to do this private thing to deal with whatever I'm going through. You completely just like inserted yourself and like ruined it, basically. And so I'm just like, yeah, Okay, yeah, fine.
We're ruining my thing. So
Right, yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know how nothing reacts. I kind of like squeeze your arm on your hand on mine, like, okay, and I use that to like, unhook you, and then
nothing says. He's like, I understand. You feel you need a chaperone. I'll try not to be offended. I promise. And like looks at Gritch. Nothing untoward is gonna happen. Let's go. And he like gestures.
Yeah.
He says his name
I follow along.
much.
Yeah, nothing's gonna happen.
So
He's gonna happen all over the place. All right.
It's so good.
I just can't wait for the moment when like Navarro, you go to find them and they're both dead. You're like, what happened? And he just steps out with a chainsaw. He's like, nothing happened.
Every time he talks, in my head. I'm going nothing. Any question?
Yeah. So, okay. So you guys head off towards the boat. So, Navarre, you have had like you know both Newton and Renfrew from your days working here prior, right?
Correct.
So which one of them do you like better than the other, and why?
I like Renfrew better.
Yeah.
Because he is a grenade launcher type, and the other one is a pistol guy, and I just.
Nice. Okay, so Newton's got like four. Like he looks like an old timey pirate. Like he's got a bandolier with like
here.
2 pistols on the front, and 2 in the sides, and like when he runs out, he
shot,
just grabs the other one.
We're destructive. We're a more destructive bunch. I like people who like to blow things up, not people who like to precisely get one. That's why I don't like using my sniper rifle. I just have it, and I'd rather charge.
Sniper rifle, so distasteful.
Yeah, sniper rifle.
Like, you gotta be obvious about what you're doing, you know?
Yeah, 1 shot, 1 kill? Come on. How about 1 shot, 5 kills? Come on.
Yeah, it's just basic math, right?
Exactly. Like,
give me a break.
Cool. Okay. So I think they both approach you at the same time. Like Jericho's gone to like pee off a balcony or something. They both come up. And Renfrew is like happy to have his explosion buddy home again. So he like, grabs your like wrist and the like heroic handshake or whatever, like claps you on the back. And is like, he's like, we're so glad to have you back. It's been a lot of work for the 2 of us. And then Newton's like, yeah, a lot of work for you. It's fine for me. And then they like banter a little bit. But like, even though like you and Newton don't get along great, they're both like, very like kind of happy to have you back, and I think that
we don't necessarily get along. I just don't. It's like a hierarchy of it's like there's you have the same car as somebody else, so you always wave at just that car brand, kind of a thing. Like you're still a good driver if you drive.
Grenade launchers are part of your personal brand.
Yeah. But cool. if you drive a BMW, maybe I'll wave a little more.
So Renfrew is like, so what's the deal? Like I thought you had hooked up with this boat crew.
I mean, we're still going together. The storm was coming. I figured we needed a place to be safe. We're going through some weird right now, and
But you're staying, right?
I mean, we're here, Jericho.
He's like, yeah, because Jericho's gonna be real mad if you take off again.
I think
you can't pull that shit. There's little enough of us as it is. He like looks around. He's like, he's not gonna let you go. And frankly, and then he like looks as nothing leaves with your friends. He's like, I don't think things are getting much better around here. We've been talking, and Newton's like, shut up, man. You can't talk to her about that. And Renfrew's like, it's Navarre. It's cool. Come here. And he like the 2 of them like take you off to like another like corner office or something, like a meeting room. And you notice that Iona sees you leave. Sees the 3 of you leave together. And so Renfrew, when you get into the other room, Renfrew says to you, he's like, look, everybody knew it was coming and it was only a matter of time, but like Jericho's losing it. This whole thing with nothing, I don't like it. Newton doesn't like it. Newton's like, fuck you, man. Don't talk for me. And Renfrew's like, so we got to do something about it. And now that you're back, like, we can.
What can we do?
There's this raid we're going on, right? And like raids sometimes go bad. Like, you remember what happened with Dremmer? That guy, he was unstable. So you take a random bullet. Somebody got shot and thrown overboard. We never see him again. It could work. This thing with Newton, nothing has Jericho all fucked up in the head. And like the raid's a good idea, but like we can't come back with him in charge. That's all I'm saying.
Who else feels like you do?
Well, I mean, it's mostly just us, but like nobody else really has the guns for it, if you know what I mean. Like Iona and Third, they're just gonna follow whoever's in charge. Like, where else are they gonna go? Right? The Clave? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think so. Right? So we do the thing. Everybody's just gonna follow along. I just don't trust Jericho anymore. And Newton is like, yeah, you've been missing out on some shit. And then goes back to staring out the window.
Interesting. I think maybe we might be able to talk about this a little bit more, but I need to talk to Frankie. I need to talk to the people I'm with, and
so Newton steps up. Like Renfrew starts to talk, and then Newton's like, no, you don't need to talk to your friends. We're your fucking friends, Navarre. You ditched us. You left us here to deal with this bullshit, and you left with them, but now you're back, and you're going to fucking stay back, because you can't screw us on this, Navarre. Because if we go out there and you turn on us, or you leave, then we're fucking dead. And that's on you.
I step up a little and kind of get in his face a little bit, and I say, I didn't fucking leave to do anything to you. I left because I was getting shot at. You know I'm not going to be controlled, and you guys could have come too. I'm back now. If you want to do this now, we can talk about it, but I'm talking to my fucking crew. Don't fuck with me.
Okay. It sounds like you're manipulating him.
Yeah.
You want him to like do basically just like to do
F-bombs in the process.
Yeah, do it.
Hot again, right?
Yeah. Hard. Hot in this case because you're not going hard.
Yeah, my hot's on top of it this time.
Boom.
I was failing last week when I actually got the XP for it.
All right, so you gotta give him some concrete assurance that you're not just gonna like ditch out on them and leave them to this.
I say to him, what was this one's name again?
Newton. Newton's the pistolier.
I look at Newton and I dig something up that I know he remembers, and I say, "You remember what I did for you and your mom? I wouldn't leave you again. Not like that. I didn't go last time because I was trying to screw you guys over. I went last time because I was being held down, and you know I don't take that.
Okay.
Do you have this for you?
Do you have any barter on you?
Actually, they were talking about that, and I'm not sure that. Where would that be? Oh, under gear and barter.
Or just in the thing that you start with?
I do have one.
Okay. So the one barter thing that you have is like a gift that Newton's mom gave you. It's like something small, but something like valuable, like jewelry or something.
So I have like a.
I think if you give that to him.
So I pull out like a necklace from underneath my armor, and I take it off, and I'll be like, "Look," and I hand it to him.
Okay. He takes it and he looks at it, and Renfrew whispers like, "Oh, he doesn't remember his mom, dude." And then like you can see Newton like kind of like tearing up, and Newton looks at you and he's like, "Okay, yeah." And then like turns away from you so you don't see him like cry. And he like turns and looks out the window. And like Renfrew like backs him up by putting his arm around you, be like, "Okay, let's go." So we don't have to pretend like Newton's like not a super badass all the time.
And the final thing I say is, you hang on to that for me. I want it back after we're done taking care of this for you.
Okay. All right, cool. So you gave Newton an artifact of the mom he doesn't remember to prove like, hey, I'm one of you.
Yeah. Because I wouldn't keep it unless it meant something to me. And if they were as close to me as they're making it out, I didn't leave for You know, I don't know exactly why I left, but I know I wouldn't leave to screw them over.
Cool. Okay. All right. So, meanwhile, down to the boat, you guys are like, it's like the beginning of Jurassic Park out there. It's just like fucking wind and rain and like mud sliding down the hill. So the group of you, the three of you are like heading down there to the boat. And I think you get onto the boat and like open the door to get inside, and then you get away from like all the like chaos outside, and now it's like quiet. You can just hear the howling of the wind outside and the like rain pummeling the side of the boat. And you know, nothing takes off his hat and like shakes it off. He's wearing his like big orange jacket. And he looks expectantly at you, Frankie, like, show me what you got.
It's this way.
Okay.
And we go down the little short staircase into the like gangway that has the doors on either side to the berths, and I guess I go first.
Okay.
Gritch, are you like riding on my shoulders now or something, or what's happening?
No, I'm in the back. I'm like
okay.
So he's in the middle. Okay.
All right. Yeah. So I'm clearly taking him to my cabin.
Okay. So nothing is looking around, and maybe you don't notice this, Frankie, but like because you're behind him, Gritch, you can see nothing is looking around like he knows where he's going, and like kind of like being in a place. It's like going back to a place you've been before but haven't been in a long time. Like he's kind of like looking around at things and nodding and like peeking into rooms as you pass them.
Yeah. So yeah, there's not a lot of fanfare. I go up. I take my key out that Tao had like before. Unlock the door, and I think I open it and then step back, so I'm slightly further down the. I keep hitting these bottles. So I'm slightly further down the hall. So the door is here. I'm facing nothing, and then Gritch is behind him. So like I make room for him to step forward and look in.
Okay.
So like when he's standing in the doorway, I'm on one side of him and Gritch is on the other side, I guess. But I don't go into the room. I just open it and step back so he can see the bundle on the bed.
Okay. So he steps to like he's going to step into the room, but stops and like puts his hand to his face and like steps back and like bumps into like the railing or whatever behind him, and he's like, "Oh God, no!" And just like stands there like staring for a second. Gritch, what do you do?
Still watching.
Yeah, just gonna hang out. You're just like, yeah, what is that? How do you feel? Okay. So he steps into the room, and you can hear him just muttering like, oh God, what happened? And when you like, I guess if you follow him, like he just goes in there, I'll hear him, and you like
poke my head in the room for sure.
All right. So he's holding the like bundle, the like cloth like bundle that Tao was in, and the blood stain from like where she was shot, the like last of the blood like that's tainted, has stained the sheet, and it's formed into the bloodstain is formed into the shape of like a symbol. Now none of you can remember, like you don't recognize it, but you recognize it as part of Navare's like symbology lexicon. Navare would definitely recognize it, but the blood is like congealed into this like awkward shape. That if you didn't know already what to look for, you wouldn't recognize it, and whether nothing recognizes it or not, it's hard to say. But it definitely like it's like seeing Jesus in a piece of toast. Like there's definitely something there.
We recognize what the symbol means?
No, but Navari will.
Holy shit.
Can I ask the Maelstrom about this?
You can open your brain, sure.
My brain? Yeah. I do it.
So I see Gritch like
I'm like at the door peering in.
I'm watching him like a hawk. I might read the stitch here, but I take my pistol out and hold it at my side. Okay. And I'm just ready for this situation to play out, but there's not going to be any. Well, we'll see. But I'm getting very ready.
Okay.
5 Fuck. Actually, I'm gonna read Gritch while you open your brain. I'm just watching you very closely because I don't know what the fuck you're gonna do.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
He got a 10.
Okay, so you see the like rusted room, and
Nice.
there's the dark shape, you know, that you saw before moving around in it. And Tao is lying on the table, and like before, but not you haven't seen it with Tao before. You can see that the thing is like trying to like take her apart or like reconstruct her or something. Like her chest cavity is open, and it's like, you know, you can see this like cloak shape like take a jar from the counter and like open it and pull out like a glistening like a wet heart and like put it in her rib cage. And it does that like a little bit, like putting things into her, and then like closes her up and then like locks her ribs with a key and then throws a sheet over her. And the wound where the like keyhole was is what's like leaking into this shape.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a message for your like you or Navarre or the crew or whatever, or for someone from the thing that terrifies you in the maelstrom.
Yay.
Yeah.
So, but it's still not clear to me what it might mean.
Frankie, yeah, you'll have to ask Navarre like what the symbol means. Frankie, you are reading the situation?
I'm reading Gritch.
Gritch. Okay, Gritch.
And I'm keeping my hold right now. I'm just watching him. Not anything right now.
I'm gonna talk to Nothing. So Nothing's like holding Tao's body.
So he picked her up and then is like pulling the sheets away so he can like confirm, like see her face. Yeah. And now he's not like crying, but he's like muttering like, my girl, my poor little girl.
So I just say, whatever part of you she was carrying, I have it now.
So he turns and like looks at you, and his eyes are like all red, and like he goes instantly from like despair to like rage, and like looks at you and just like screams. He's just like and like lunges at you.
Yes. I'm gonna try to interrupt that. I'm gonna step between them.
Okay.
If I can, and say, I did it. I killed her. I killed her.
Okay. All right. So you want to get in the way. Gritch, what do you want right now?
Well, I don't want him to like strangle me to death or anything. That would be bad.
Okay. All right.
Before I step between you, I'm going to ask this one. What do you intend to do with Nothing?
With Nothing? I'm going to try to fuck him.
Yeah, I figured.
In a weird roundabout way.
Okay. There's nothing specific though. I just get a read from you that you're.
I'm not trying to goad him on. I'm trying to like get into his like confidence, essentially.
Sure. Oh, so you're like, look at me. I am your daughter now.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
My read on you is that you're. Yeah. Okay. You have bad intentions, but they're.
He's just a Gritch who's misunderstood. That's fine.
Yeah, okay. But what I want to make sure is, because this is what I'm trying to read on you right now, is do I feel like you're about to like go like lose control, like shoot somebody like you have before? Am I getting that vibe from you?
Yeah, I want Nothing alive.
You want Nothing alive?
I agree. I want Nothing alive too. Kill everything. Nothing must live.
Okay, that's all. It's a split second thing. Like as I step between you, I'm kind of, my sixth sense is like, oh my god, is Gritch going to be a problem? And for right now, I'm like, no, he's fine.
Gritch is not going to be a problem.
Okay.
He's doing his weird shit to Nothing, but yeah. So I'm going to try to step in front and be like, no.
Okay.
I'm taking responsibility. That's why I brought you down here. You know, I'm like.
Okay, so in this instance, just to make sure you're clear of the consequences here, you taking responsibility is also you taking the harm that was intended for Gritch. So like he'll plow into you, you'll both crash to the floor, and he'll be like slamming you into the floor.
Yeah, I mean, I'll fight back. I won't just take
exactly. It'll start a fight, and then you can. Okay, all right.
Well, actually, will I fight back?
That was my other question.
Though.
Yeah,
I don't know if I will actually.
Yeah, I mean, it would be up to Gritch maybe to step in.
I might not fight back. Yeah, I don't think so. Like if I step in the way and he grabs me and slams me on the ground and starts pummeling me, I think.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
Okay. Yeah. Take 1 harm in the harm move.
Okay.
We are not the same people. Everyone would be dead right now if I were in the room.
Somewhere off in the distance, you hear a faint thump, and then the boat explodes.
Whole boat explodes. The boat takes 1 million harm.
2d6 plus 1.
Great job.
Great job. The harm.
Yeah.
Okay.
The harm is doing really well right now.
All right, so I'm gonna hit you with a second harm. So you fall and hit your head on something sharp, like the edge of the bed or like something, and there's suddenly just like more blood everywhere, fresh, hot Frankie blood all over the place. Like he grabs you, you both fall, you bang your head, everything goes like bright red for a second, and then you feel like just like everything behind you getting like hot and slick. And Gritch, you see him nothing like on top of Frankie, and he's just like shouting like my little girl, and like banging her into the deck. What do you want to do?
I think Frank, just to put this in a bug in your ear, Frankie's saying she rolls to the side. She has her gun in her hand.
Yeah.
And she kind of turns away.
Yeah.
She can't just sit there and get punched in the face. So she kind of like
Yeah.
And she's saying, she's like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. She was sick. I didn't know what to do. She was sick. I'm sorry. And she's just like, you can tell, like you saw her in the room before, Gritch. She's just like right back in the spiral of,
Okay.
I'll just say like, nothing, for fuck's sakes. She's only dead if you remember that she was ever alive.
Okay. I think you're gonna need to do something to like, because he's very fixated on being.
So like I'm trying to talk to him, and then I'm just gonna like shove him or something.
And grab him to pull him away.
Yeah, I'll like grab onto him and like try to like get his attention basically, and just be like, hey, like.
Okay. I mean, I think you're gonna have to see if you're just doing it physically. You got to seize him by force.
Well, here goes.
Oh dear. Okay. So you rush forward to grab him, and I think that he turns and just backhands you, sends you sprawling.
Great.
So you take a harm.
Great.
Can you make the harm move?
Sure can. Okay. So I get an 11.
Oh Jesus. Okay. I don't want to kill you. Okay. I mean, my choice here is I can. Yeah, I just pick one from the 10 list, right? Or 2 from the one below. Okay, cool. All right, so you lose your footing and lose track of like what's happening for a second. So I think you slip, and like you slip in some blood. Who knows whose it is anymore? And get like stunned for a second. But him turning around to like bash you out of the way, Gritch, buys you a second. Frankie, what do you want to do?
I think I'll kind of like get up on my side a little bit and kind of push him off, and stand up and like stagger back so the three of us are kind of separated.
Okay.
And just be like, okay, enough, stop.
Okay. So roll to. Well, I mean, you have your gun in your hand. What's the threat here? Is there any, or are you just like, please stop? Or is
if he's still fighting with me,
it's not that he's fighting, but he's still. You can see he's still in like rage mode. Like he's looking around, trying to decide like what to do and like who to hurt now to make it better.
Like cornered animal.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, but he has stopped fighting for the moment?
Yeah, I think so. I think if you want to be able to talk to him, then you'll have to make a roll. But like,
yeah, I do want to talk to him.
Okay.
I'm not going to threaten him though. What do I do?
Yeah.
Is Gritch out in the hallway now?
I don't know. Gritch, are you in the room?
In the room? Maybe I like fell onto the.
I think the conflict is T-shaped. Yeah, like I think you both like he went into the room and then separated you two this way and is between you.
Yeah, I'm like on the bed with Tao's body, I think, and you're like in the doorway.
Sure,
you had been pinned to the ground.
Would it be possible for me to like grab nothing and like go into the? This is a complex move, and I don't know about the like if the spacing makes sense here, but
sure.
What I kind of want to do is like grab the front of Nothing's shirt, heave him into the hallway, shut the door, and lock it behind me.
So you want to lock Gritch and Tao? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why you gotta play me like that, Frankie?
Why I gotta? Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Okay, so yeah, you can do that. Like he's disoriented enough, you can just grab him and like yank him out into the hall. You slam the door, and he's like leaned back, like breathing hard, and his eyes are kind of like glossed out, like glassy, and he's like staring at you. And inside the room, like Gritch, all you remember is like you get thrown aside and like bang your head, and like you're trying to figure out what's happening, and kind of in slow motion, like the door slams shut. Everything's all like watery and confusing. And nothing looks at you, Frankie, and it's just like shaking his head, and he's like, it wasn't supposed to be like this. She was supposed to be the first. I didn't have enough time with her sister. You have no idea what you've done.
So I click the lock with the key and I turn back and I'm like,
God damn it.
It was a mistake. I didn't know what I was doing. Everything was out of control. Everything is totally out of control. I don't know what to do. We have to start over.
And I'm like up and banging on the door.
Okay, yes, you're just like mashing on the door. Okay, so I think the last thing we see, because we're right at the end here, so the last thing we see is like Gritch, you're like up at the port, like of the door, like banging on the door, and we just see like a white hand like close on Gritch's shoulder from behind.
Hey.
Yeah, just this like Gritch is all like confused and like hey, and then we just see like this like hand grab his shoulder, and let's.
That was interesting.
Yeah,
I'm like over here,
there.
like what's going on? I don't know why getting the sounds coming out of my ears, but yet I get closer to the screen whenever it gets interesting.
What's happening? Cool.
Awesome.
Rat.
Do a couple of shout outs.
Well, let's do our highlights real quick.
Oh,
so
yeah, I forgot. Sorry.
Navarre, do Gritch or Frankie know you better now that they're in your home turf?
I don't think so. I don't know if I didn't really get to do that kind of thing today. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Is it possible? Is it okay to say that?
I don't know. Yeah. Is nobody an acceptable answer to that question?
Smith July knows me better.
You can give someone
Eugene.
-1.
Yeah, I mean, I guess someone could know you less well. Yeah, you'd have to give something. There has to be a plus.
I mean, I guess if anything, it's Frankie again, because Frankie's thinking that maybe it's a -1 to Frankie with me, because we're trying to figure that out, but maybe this situation is kind of confused.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I think that's actually probably a good assessment of what we did today.
I thought I knew you, Navarre.
You don't know me.
I don't know me.
Yeah, we're all jumbled up.
Yep. All right, Gritch, who knows you better or worse?
So do I change my hex, or does she?
No, you're telling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're telling somebody else.
Yeah.
I think maybe Navarre got some insight about Gritch during that scene with Biz.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was this weird
you actually like
someone
somebody
similar to Gritch, but then almost afraid of Gritch, and there's this whole weird. So that could have been a good little lens on
Yeah, it
Gritch's
was weird
deal.
to see you like someone.
Yeah, Also.
Now I'm finally up from -1 to 0.
Okay. Cool. Frankie?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think it's Gritch. Gritch saw me in the cabin, like at my just breaking down really bad.
Sad.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Give Gritch that hex.
Yeah, just pile it on there.
Feed the dragon.
Yep. All right, cool. Well, good session, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Well, why don't we start with you, John? Tell us who you are, where we can find you.
Sure. I'm John Harper. I'm a game designer primarily. Find me at 17design.com, all written out. And on Twitter at John_Harper. Yeah, this was a great session. Thanks, everybody. It was fun.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Always interesting. Andrew?
I'm Andrew. You can follow me on Twitter at CommutingCrow. I don't have anything to plug, but I'm having a lot of fun being here. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
And I am Avison. I am your community manager at Roll20. Follow me at M_Avison, which is below our names. And hopefully, let's pray to the Twitch gods that these VODs work out all right. I'll work on that, and we'll release those Saturday. So, and if you really want to support us, check out roll20.net, because that is the software we are using and supporting. Go make an account. It's free. And there's lots of cool things coming soon, as always. So, check out our forums and our blogs and stuff. We just hired an intern. His name's Ryan. He's pretty cool. We'll have him for a couple months, so it's exciting. We're growing. We love you. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Deal. And I, as you probably know, am your MC. I'm Adam Coble. I do this. I run role-playing games. It is a thing that I do. I also design games sometimes. I am the co-designer of a game called Dungeon World. If you haven't heard of it, go check it out. It's like this, but with like elves and dwarves and shit. And the rest of the time, when I'm not running role-playing games, I'm streaming at twitch.tv/Adam Coble, and I'm tweeting at twitter.com/SkinnyGhost. So you can check me out there. Great session, everybody. I love this game. It's traumatizing. I need to go lie down. Thanks for coming, everybody.
We will let you know what's going on with us for next week. It might change a little bit, if I recall correctly. June 4th, isn't that one of
Yeah, I think we might have an announcement coming up.
So keep an eye on our Twitter if you want to know. We will let you know what we're doing very, very soon. And tune in tomorrow for Adam's Post-Apocalypse World show, where he plans all this stuff out. And I cannot wait to watch that show after the series is over. I'm like, I've heard so much good feedback. And like we talk in chat, and he's like, when I do this in my show, and I was like, well, I'm being good and not watching. So, so check it out. I hear it's great. Have a wonderful day, everybody. We'll see you next week.
See you around.
Bye-bye.